All the information shared in this video is available on the public platform. Nothing is discussed here which may breach the confidentiality of our armed forces. Defense Detective respects our defense forces and works only on the information that is available for public use. Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Defense Detective Global. Today we are going to talk about a truth which Pakistani propaganda machinery is hell-bent on trying to prove false. It is the truth of more than 90,000 soldiers of Pakistan who surrendered to the Indian Army. There is a Pakistani YouTube channel named Reaction Time and PNMM. A YouTuber Faris Javed gives his reactions on this channel. He usually gives reaction on every Indian video. Indians also watch this channel. But this time, he has given his half knowledge on such a subject for which there are a lot of evidences already present. He said that India's claim that 93,000 Pakistani soldiers surrendered in the war of 1971 is false and it is an Indian propaganda. To prove his point, he gave a total of 8 evidences which he has claimed to be truly authentic evidences. In his video, the first evidence he has given is of the Simla Agreement. The second evidence he has given is Instrument of Surrender document. Third evidence is a video of surrender. The fourth evidence he has given is a statement of K.C. Pant, the former Defense Minister of India. The fifth evidence is of an American-Indian journalist, Sarmila Bose. The sixth evidence he has given is of US politician Charlie Wilson. The seventh evidence is of another US leader, Stephen Solars. And the eighth evidence he has given is the report of the Hamoudur Rahman Commission of Pakistan. So friends, get ready to see all these 8 evidences given by Faris Javed to be demolished badly one by one. You know that we don't talk without strong evidences. So it took some time to research. Since we have to counter the 8 evidences that he claimed, it is very difficult to sum it up in one video. So we have to make it in 2 parts. The most interesting thing is that Faris Javed has provided only 3 links as evidences to prove the information that he has given in 2 videos. In the first video, the link of the Simla Agreement and the Instrument of Surrender has been provided. Whereas in the second part, Faris Javed has also added a link to the report of the Hamoudur Rahman Commission along with the other 2 links. He has not provided a link to the original report of Hamoudur Rahman Commission, but a link to the supplementary report. We tried hard to find out the original report, but it was not available in English but Urdu. Since we don't know Urdu, it was of no use to us. But we have found one page of this report in English. We will tell you what is written in it about the surrender. Let us tell you some detail about the Hamoudur Rahman Commission report. When this report came, the Pakistan Army did not allow it to come to the fore. At that time, only 12 copies of this report were made, but the army destroyed 11 copies. Only 1 copy was left, which was handed over to the Pakistan government, but on the condition that the government would not publish it. It was declassified by the Pakistani government in the year 2000, but it is still very difficult to find its English version on the internet, perhaps because of this reason.
इस रिपोर्ट को अगर आप पढ़ेंगे तो यकीनन जो सन है मशरकी पाकिस्तान है उसके कुछ हकायक आपके इल्म में आ जाएंगे, आपका सर शर्म से झुक भी जाएगा.
Mr. Faris Javed, after seeing our video, your head is also going to hang in shame. You should have shared the original link after doing some research because the authenticity of your claims is highly doubted. If you have given 8 proofs, then you should have also given 8 links for fact checking. When we present any evidence, we share the link to each and every evidence mentioning the exact source. In your video, Mr. Faris, except only 3 proofs, you have not told the source of any other evidence. You just said that someone has mentioned this. You should have told the exact source, which website published it, where is the reference. If you have had mentioned the exact source, then there would have been no mistake in fact-checking. Now, why did Faris Javed do this? It will also be exposed, but first, let's listen to what he has said in his video.
कोशिश आप ये करो कि जब भी कोई बात आपको मिले, किसी से सुनो, उसको तहकीक कर लो, उस पे उसको एकदम बिलीव ना कर लो, ठीक है? क्योंकि जो बंदा फ़ौरन बिलीव कर लेता है ना कहीं सुनी बातों पे फ़ौरन, तो वो सच्चा नहीं हो सकता. बहुत कम चांसेस हैं कि वो सच्चा हो, ठीक है? क्योंकि सच्चा बंदा सच्चाई को जानेगा, वो उसके पीछे जाएगा.
So after listening to Faris Javed, we went after him in search of the truth because we also do not believe immediately in whatever we have listened to. Now let's first listen to what Faris Javed has said while citing the Simla Agreement as his first proof.
लो यार दोस्तों, ये आपके सामने पूरा एग्रीमेंट है, ठीक है? ये साइन हुआ है इंदिरा गांधी जी और जुल्फ़िकार अली भुट्टो, इन्होंने पूरा उसका किया है. लो यार, ये पूरे एग्रीमेंट में आपने मुझे वो फिगर दिखा देनी है, लिंक मैं आपको नीचे दे दूँगा, ठीक है दोस्त। मैं इसलिए आपको कह रहा था कि आप लोग रिसर्च, हज़ारों कमेंट्स होते हैं, तो वो जो मैं कहता हूँ ना कि सिर्फ 3-4 लगता है कि जिन्होंने देख कर आते हैं और रिसर्च करके आते हैं, उसका रीज़न यही होता है क्योंकि वो मैं चीज़ें कोशिश होती है कि वही कहूँ आपको जो मैंने खुद पढ़ी होती है और जो चीज़ की होती है। अब इसमें आपने दोस्तों मुझे ये 2-3 पेज हैं, ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगेगा, 93,000 की फिगर आपने मुझे दिखा देनी है ब्रदर, ठीक है। जो कि मैंने आपको बोला था कि ये बहुत बुरे तरीके से मीडिया ने इसको फैलाया और बहुत ही हैवली ये डिस्टॉर्टेड फिगर है, बहुत ही हैवली।
This point is true. It is not written anywhere in the Simla Agreement that 93,000 Pakistani soldiers were released. Only one line is written in it that the Simla Agreement, which was signed between Indira Gandhi and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, is more than a peace treaty. It was done to reverse the aftermath of the War of 1971. There are mentions of withdrawal of troops and exchange of prisoners of war, that is POWs. Now, Faris Javed kept searching for the figure of 93,000 in it, but he did not pay attention to the basic spirit of the agreement. This agreement was done only for the Kashmir dispute and not for the exchange of POWs. If you read it carefully, you will understand the whole thing. Through this agreement, India successfully took out the issue of Jammu and Kashmir from the UN and made it a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan. It is clearly written in this agreement that both the countries will resolve the Kashmir dispute through dialogue and there will be no interference of any third party. In this agreement, 99.99% of the matter is written only about Kashmir dispute and peace between the two countries. So, Simla Agreement was not done for 93,000 prisoners of war but for Kashmir. Then why would the figure of 93,000 be written in it when it is not a document for POWs? That's why Faris Javed has cleverly presented this document as evidence. But Mr. Faris, it was not a right document to be presented here. So your first evidence has been demolished. Now comes your second evidence, which is the document of surrender of General Niazi.
फिर एक भाई ने कहा इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ सरेंडर ऑफ पाकिस्तान, आप कह लो कि ये मैंने खोला हुआ इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ सरेंडर, ये है जी, मैंने ये लिया है, ये आप देख लो, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इंटरनल अफेयर्स इंडिया की वेबसाइट है ये, ठीक है। ये इंडिया मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की वेबसाइट है, वहाँ से ये मैंने पूरा लिया हुआ है, ठीक है। हाँ, उनकी एक बात ठीक थी कि वो जनरल नियाजी और उनके नाम लिखे हुए हैं यहाँ पे, वो लिखे हुए हैं बस, यहाँ तक इस हद तक ठीक थी। ये पूरे इसमें आप भी मुझे, अब इसमें भी आपने मुझे वो फिगर दिखानी है 93,000, ठीक है।
Mr. Faris, it is true that the figure of 93,000 is not written anywhere in the instrument of surrender. But tell us one thing, the surrender took place on 16 December 1971. It means that the fighting was going on till then. These documents must have been prepared a few days earlier and then the proposal for it would have been sent to General Niazi. Now tell us, how can the soldiers be counted in an ongoing battle and that too by the army of the enemy country? If the documents are prepared before surrendering, then how can it be mentioned in it that how many soldiers have surrendered? If you read this carefully, then in the very first line it is written that Pakistan Eastern Command is ready to surrender all Pakistan armed forces present in Bangladesh, which includes soldiers of Army, Air Force and Navy, as well as paramilitary and civil armed forces. So Mr. Faris' Indian Army was not omniscient that they had already come to know that 93,000 Pakistani soldiers are present there. When the surrender took place, the number of soldiers were counted and everything became clear after that. So this evidence of yours also proved to be worthless. And the exact number of Pakistani soldiers who surrendered can only be confirmed by the Indian Army. So let's give you the authentic proof of the same. You can go to the website of the Indian Army. We have given its link in the description box. There you will get complete detailed information on the action of the Indian Army on the Battle of 1971. On this website, when you go all the way down, the figure of 93,000 is clearly written. Mr. Faris, you have to believe Indian Army in this matter, as this is the official website of the Indian Army and every word written on it is official. And like Pakistani Army, our army does not spread lies. It does not give false record on its website. Although we have very little hope that Faris Javed will believe this, but Mr. Faris, we have so many evidences that you will be tired before countering them all. Let's move on and look at the third proof given by Mr. Faris, which is a YouTube video clip.
लास्ट में आपको एक चीज़ बता दूँ, ये वीडियो है, किसी अक्ल वाले बंदे को ये पूछ लेना है, ठीक है। ये सोल्जर है जी, ठीक है, ये सोल्जर है, ये सोल्जर है भाई, ठीक है, सारे ये जा रहे हैं, ठीक है भाई, हाँ, ये जा रहे हैं, पीछे पूरे खाली है, ये देखें, ये देखें, ग्राउंड है सारी, ग्राउंड है, ये लो भाईजान, ये भाईजान, ये सारे लोग हैं, इस पर बहुत क्लिप होंगे, ठीक है, किसी भी नॉर्मल बंदे को दिखा दें और कहते हैं कि ये कितने बंदे होंगे, वो आपको बता देगा। ये $90,000 की बात हो रही है, ठीक है।
After listening to what Mr. Faris said, we thought that whatever he's saying is right. If you look at the video, then you cannot estimate a crowd of 93,000. Now, at that time, there were no drone cameras to shoot from above, which could have given an estimate. So, to know the reality, we started reverse research and started looking for evidences. During our research, we found a video. It is the video of the time when some of the surrendered Pakistani soldiers were being prepared to be taken to the prisoner of war camp in India. The reporter you see in this video is Richard Lindley. He was among the best journalists in Britain. He did a great job while covering the Bangladesh war. At that time, Lindley was working for the ITN network. Back then, journalism was not the way it is today. Each and every word was said or written after fact-checking. The report Richard Lindley gave in this video needs to be heard very carefully.
Before the Indian Army can think about leaving Bangladesh, 93,000 Pakistani prisoners of war will have to be transported to India. 25,000 of them are here in the Dhaka cantonment getting ready to leave.
Mr. Faris, we hope you have no doubt about the authenticity of this evidence. We have also given its link below so that you can cross-check. Two very important information have been given here. The first information is that 93,000 Pakistani soldiers surrendered. Now, at that time, the reporter would not have lied. He would have definitely seen it, and after cross-checking the truth, he would have mentioned the figure of 93,000 soldiers. The second information that Richard Lindley gave in his report is that there were 25,000 soldiers in the field of Dhaka Cant. Now, Mr. Faris Javed was saying that the ground looks empty. If 93,000 soldiers had surrendered, then why was there not that much crowd? So, Mr. Faris, that video is from the ground of Dhaka Cant, where the surrender ceremony took place. At that time, there were not 93,000 but 25,000 soldiers present. Moreover, all the big commanders including General Niazi was present there. You didn't think that when the war was going on all over Bangladesh, then entire 93,000 soldiers would not be present in Dhaka alone. They were fighting at different places, and the surrender also took place at different places. So it was not right to bring them all together to Dhaka. Because if 93,000 soldiers had been at one place, then it could have been a great danger. Together they could have retaliated or started some kind of planned rebellion or coup. It would have been difficult to handle such a situation. That is why there were only 25,000 Pakistani soldiers. The number of Indian soldiers in Dhaka was slightly more than that, and they were able to prevent any such situation. Moreover, the 25,000 Pakistani soldiers who were present there were also among those 40,000 soldiers who were responsible for the security of Dhaka. The original report of the Hamoudur Rahman Commission, not the supplementary one which Mr. Faris Javed has shown, but the original one, after reading it, every Pakistani would feel ashamed. We are not saying it, but Pakistan's journalist Hamid Mir had said this. We found a page of this report. On its page number 259, chapter Surrender in East Pakistan, it is clearly written that there were about 24,000 troops in Dhaka at that time. You should note that it is only Dhaka that is being talked about here and not the whole of Bangladesh, although they also did not have concrete information about it. According to them, all of these were not soldiers and roughly 16,500 soldiers were there, but they had given this information after interrogating Pakistani soldiers. So we can't trust them blindly because we doubt that Pakistani soldiers have spoken the truth. Mr. Faris Javed, if you do not believe this evidence too as it is British evidence, then let us give you one more proof. This evidence is American, and we hope that you would definitely believe it. You must be knowing about the American newspaper, the New York Times. It is a very reliable newspaper and a newspaper of record. It is 170 years old and was being published during the War of Bangladesh. A report was published in it on 29 August 1973. Its heading was, India to release 90,000 Pakistanis in peace accord. We have provided its link in the description box. You can check it. Here the picture of the front page of the newspaper published at that time has also been given. We have highlighted its heading. Here also it is written, India to release 90,000 Pakistanis in peace accord. Now, Mr. Fares, if there was anything wrong with the data of 90,000 Pakistani soldiers, if it was exaggerated, then it would have been exposed. This report was published in the year 1973, that is 2 years after the surrender. If the figures have been tampered with, then it would have been revealed by then. At that time, the US was also supporting Pakistan. Richard Nixon had sent his 7th Fleet to India, so the US would not have missed such a wonderful opportunity to humiliate India. Mr. Fares, till now we have given 3 authentic evidences. Still, if you are not convinced, then we can present one more evidence to prove that more than 90,000 Pakistani soldiers had surrendered. You must be knowing about Al Jazeera. A report was published on 16th May 2015 on Al Jazeera. Its link is also given in the description box. Its heading was, "My Father, a Pakistani Prisoner of War in India." In its subheading, it is written, "A daughter's tribute to the father who never recovered from his war wounds." In this report, a daughter has talked about her father, Major Nadeem Ahmed. She tells that in February 1974, along with 93,000 other prisoners of war, her father was also sent back to Pakistan. Mr. Fares, you must have looked at the numbers here. It is clearly mentioned 93,000 POWs. Now a daughter must have said this because her father would have narrated the whole story to her. Otherwise, why would she give the figure of 93,000 by relying on someone else? Who would have been better than her father, who himself was a POW, to tell facts about it? Moreover, Al Jazeera is not a small media house, nor it is a friend of India who would hide the truth from the world. Mr. Fares Javed, if you are still not convinced that there were 93,000 Pakistani soldiers, then no issues. We have a hidden trump card as an evidence, which we will show in the next video. As this video has become lengthy, so in the next video we will counter through our authentic evidences the remaining 5 proofs given by you. We will also present our last irrefutable evidence. That's all in this video. We will be back soon with its next part. Till then, goodbye. Jai Hind.